Smell that? It's marijuana. It's illegal here in New York State, but Washington State and Colorado just legalized it. Not just for medical use, for any use.
Yes! Legalization supporters cheered when voters said yes. Most Colorado politicians had opposed legalization.
The question looming over Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper. Now what?
Our voters want marijuana to be regulated like alcohol.
And that's the plan. On January 1st, this Iraq war vet made the first legal purchase.
Couldn't be more excited. Yeah, huge. Changing the world.
Changing it for the worse, say those who once ruled over the drug war.
We're incentivizing heavy use in the marketplace.
Kevin Sabet worked for 3 presidents, most recently in President Obama's drug czar's office. He says Colorado will soon realize its mistake.
If we go to Colorado in the next month, we'll start seeing the problems.
We're already seeing the problems.
Some kids have gotten a hold of marijuana, but there haven't been many problems. Denver looked normal. It was hard to tell if anyone was high. Easier to see who seemed drunk.
Go Broncos!
Yeah. But there's no longer a war on weed in Washington or Colorado.
The war kills people, runs over people.
You know what? Let's end the war in a different way. Better prevention, a much better law enforcement.
We've been trying better law enforcement for decades.
Not at the scale we need.
Not at the scale? For 40 years, America has spent $1 trillion trying to fight drugs. Police still make an arrest for marijuana possession every 48 seconds.
What does it say about America that we lock up more people than any other country?
We should be ashamed about it, but that doesn't mean that we replace one tragedy of incarceration with what would be a public health tragedy of legalization.
Today, not all police officers agree.
Law enforcement's job is to protect people from each other. We can't protect them from themselves.
For 36 years, Tony Ryan was a cop in Denver.
People are fighting over the territories. They're killing each other to have this street corner to sell drugs. The way to solve the problem with illegal drugs is to legalize them.
Seattle police have gotten into the spirit of legalization. At a pot rally, this officer handed out bags of Doritos with funny warning signs. We thought you might be hungry, but don't shotgun weed to people under 21.
They're laughing with the kids.
It's sort of a dose of reality.
The reality that weed gives some people the munchies, and the reality that kids were already getting high.
You don't have to leave the school to get marijuana. It's right there.
This is what you're looking for, though.
Denver's Medicine Man store sold marijuana to medical patients before. Now owner Andy Williams has more customers.
When we first started, it was very scary. I would wake up, maybe once a week and believe that I was in federal prison.
Williams runs the shop with his brother and mom. They made $1 million in the first month of legalization.
Legality brings peace.
Yeah, but it also brings mass commercialization and promotion.
Come to Marlboro country.
We're about to create the next R.J. Reynolds or Marlboro of marijuana.
Marlboro doesn't have gangs shooting up people's homes.
Marijuana kills through indirect ways, like driving while stoned.
We'll probably see more drivers that are participating in getting high and then getting behind the wheels.
The state of Colorado now runs humorous ads to try to get marijuana users to think about what they do when they're impaired. Playing ball when high is now legal. Driving to see the pros play isn't. Drive high, you get a DUI.
Colorado State Patrol, this cat. And can you still see the vehicle? Okay.
Colorado asks motorists to report reckless drivers. When the trooper makes the stop, they look for signs of impairment. With alcohol, you can use a breath test to see how drunk someone is, but there's no comparable measurement for marijuana.
Blow hard.
A blood test would show marijuana use.
We may have to take an individual to a hospital or other medical facility for that.
But even then, a sober person might test positive for marijuana because marijuana can stay in your blood for a week. So Colorado's troopers bring in what they call drug recognition experts. Don Nadeau says he's been trained to understand marijuana's effects on people.
You might see their eyelids have tremors, or their actual body has tremors, bloodshot, watery eyes.
This car blew through a stop sign. The trooper then smelled alcohol.
Did you have anything to drink while you were there?
A couple hours ago.
Okay. What did you have?
I had a whiskey.
A whiskey?
Yeah.
She runs the driver through a series of tests called roadsides. These tests are the same whether they suspect the driver is stoned or drunk.
From that position, okay? 1, 2, 3.
This driver passed the test, so she let him go. With marijuana now legal, some worry stoned drivers will cause more deadly car accidents. But so far, that hasn't happened. Others feared a reefer madness crime wave.
Debauchery, violence, murder.
But that hasn't happened either. In Denver, crime is down.
We're here, we're doing it, we don't see reefer madness.